Hello, I'm Kai, I work for Channel 4 and today I'm here to present to you my initial designs for the Ident project. And the key findings I have obtained from completing audience research. This pitch will include a detailed evaluation of what TV audiences want and the opinions on idents they have seen. I have used graphs to clearly present the demographics of the people that took part in my research and the channels they watch. I will also talk about my final designs for the ident and explain how the audience feedback has helped me to improve my original designs. My initial ident designs, which as you can see are laid out behind me, have been drawn in compliance to a set brief that I was given. The designs all feature different holidays throughout the year which reflect the season they are in. Each of the idents have different British foods and the Channel 4 logo incorporated into their designs to show brand identity for Channel 4 and advertise the Great British Bake Off, which acts as a good marketing tool. I got my ideas for the idents from searching the internet for images of different foods which are linked or specifically made for different seasons of the year. My main inspirations came from images of cakes and treats that were made by parents for their children to eat during certain holidays like Halloween and Christmas. From conducting the focus groups, I found out that people prefer to see idents which are more entertaining than informative because, as Matthew said, people have TV guides now and they know what programmes are coming up next and they don't need to be told. I also found out that even though people don't know initially what an ident is, but once they are told, they can quickly and easily recognise them. This shows you that TV idents are a big part of audiences' TV viewing. From the first focus group I conducted, Morgan, Matthew and Thomas all agreed my designs were very creative and entertaining but lacked colour, difference of character and were confusing to follow. This feedback is useful as I can then incorporate the suggestions of improvement into my final designs. Questionnaires. The first questionnaire represents what devices TV audiences watch programmes on. The majority of people who I question watch programmes on TV. However, there are people watching their programmes on tablets and phones, meaning the idents will have to be suitable for all media platforms. The second graph represents how many people watch certain Channel 4 channels. From this graph you can see that E4 is the most watched channel. E4 features comedy and entertainment based programmes which are aimed at young adults. The third graph represents the ages of the Channel 4 users. From the graph you can see the majority of the Channel 4 users I questioned were between the ages of 17 to 24. The fourth graph represents the majority of people who watch, represents the gender of each user I questioned. As you can see from my graph, the majority of people who watch E4 are female. The collection of data is useful because it gives us an idea of what our audience is. Knowing what our audience is allows us to find out what audience like trends, so that we can include them in the ident and get more viewers. Secondary research. The primary target audience for Channel 4 currently is young adults aged between 16 to 30 years old, which can be identified through the programmes and characters which are shown on the channel. Channel 4 viewers are younger and more upmarket than other commercial broadcasters. My designs are suitable for this target audience because they are more entertaining and informative. They also feature informal and immature designs which will draw the attention of the Channel 4 viewer. The feedback I have obtained from completing audience research is useful because it will be used in the final design and filming of the ident as a reference for what audiences want to see. The method that I found most successful in getting good feedback from audiences was the focus groups, because the people I interviewed answered the questions in as much detail as they could and was given more time to give reliable answers. If I had more time and money, I would conduct further audience research by getting more people with a wider range in ages to fill out my questionnaires and conduct focus groups with. Getting a wider range in ages will also give me more of a wider ranging opinions, especially from people with CA demographics. From the feedback I have attained during audience research, I have decided to use Suite 1 as it was the most favoured by the people who took part in my research. I have changed the initial design by adding more colour to it to make it easier to follow and remember. I have also tried to simplify them as Morgan from my focus group thought they were confusing to follow. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Excellent, well done, Kai. So, in relation to your secondary research, what was the most informative, or what was the most relevant information you found out that could help you understand and develop your ideas to meet the needs of the audience?
Well, the information I found from Bar was really helpful because it showed all the viewers from certain times of the day, so I could know what would be the best time to put the ident on for to get the most viewers.
Excellent. And in relation to your primary and secondary research, would you say your primary research was more constructive, or your secondary research, and why?
I think I guess it's a mix of both, because primary research gave me idea of how to improve my idents, but the secondary information gave me more on the audience as their viewing times and when they watch them during which day of the week.
Excellent. And if you didn't conduct any research and went on to simply make an ident that you liked, what would be the problems with conducting no prior primary or secondary research before a production?
If I didn't conduct any research before the production, I wouldn't be able to know what the audience like. So if I put the wrong thing in or offend the wrong person, then it's just going to remove a huge chunk of the viewers.
Excellent. Well done.